Good afternoon. My name is somawina, and I will be discussing the components of a lesson plan. So first and foremost, lesson plans are just teacher plans for a lesson. And, teachers plan these throughout the semester to just kind of help use as a scaffold to point them in the right direction of what they want to cover in class and what, they want the students to understand as well. So the first thing about a lesson plan is, of course, the objective, which includes the activities, the assessments, and the objective just lists what the students are going to complete. We want an objective to be specific, measurable, attainable, and relevant to the coursework, of course. Also, with an objective, we want it to be time-based because we don't want to be too far ahead where the students are confused. We don't want to take too long where they're not ready for the assessments, such as I know in Texas, it's called the STAR test, which is a standardized test. Apart from the objective, another important thing to note is, of course, the related requirements, which are the, national standard school standards that practically show that they tell you what to teach in the classroom. And the beauty of it is because it makes it all uniform. So every student learns, well, every student, of course, pertain to grade school levels and all that, learn based on this specific requirement, which is good, because it helps make everything more uniform. The third part of it is definitely going to be the lesson materials, which is the materials you're going to use to teach and, of course, measure how the students are doing. I know in the 21st century, a lot of teachers use, Google Classrooms to help with, I believe, exit tickets, to help with, do nows, as well as to teach as well. It's very, very nifty. There's also PowerPoint slides, which students can kind of copy notes through. There's also, good old fashioned pen and paper, such as, for writing down notes. But I know that a lot of schools are kind of moving away from that just because I know that the STAR test is more electronic and also just killing trees. That's not a fun time, save the trees, right? But yeah. And for lesson materials, it consists of, visual aids, computers and tablets, like I said, really digging into that 21st century vibe. Activity packets, textbooks, all of that good stuff. And then there's also what we call a lesson procedure, which is just explanations of how the topic is going to progress throughout the classroom. It has the introductions, has the do nows like I talked about before, the exit tickets, which is just kind of the just to show that the students understand the topic. And, one thing to note when you're working on lesson procedures is, how are you going to introduce the topic? How are you going to teach the information? Because, of course, every student is different. Some students are, visual learners. Some students are more of tactile learners. Others just more of just like to listen. So every student is different. So we want to make sure as teachers that we are able to really focus on what we feel is best for our students, so that they all are able to not only be engaged, but also understand. And, on top of that, we also want to think about how we can incorporate this into critical thinking, because kids, especially in the lower grades, their attention span is very, very low. And so if all we do is just talk and talk and talk, they're probably, after about 20 seconds, they're not going to listen anymore. So we want to be able to, incorporate ways to make them critically think, which keeps them engaged. And finishing up with that, we have the reflection, which is what they can be like exit tickets, which show understanding, or it can just be takeaways that the students are able to let the teachers know to show that they're definitely understanding and they know what's going on in the classroom. That is my own take on the components of a lesson plan, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the afternoon.